This 500-kilo cow runs up behind me while I'm sorting out his food and tries to mount me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hello, my name is Wild Kitsune. I'm a Kitsune VTuber and voice actress. Come join me live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/wildkitsune. I stream Tarkov, Pal World, Get Involved, and a variety of other games. See you there.
Australia lost a war to emus.
Yeah.
But how? How the
Yeah.
did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds?
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously, they didn't actually want to kill them, right? They're just trying to keep the emus away.
it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory, and emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered
That's
tanks
too many
then
zeros there,
proceeded to
MoreParz.
completely steamroll through the fences,
Oh,
into
yeah.
the fields, and started laying waste to the wheat.
Oh, yeah.
The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. My. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey if you ask me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast.
They are.
Speed.
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons.
Yeah.
But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later, they returned.
They're just like,
this
you
time
can't just shoot
mounting
'em.
LMGs on
You can't
trucks
just
in an
shoot 'em.
attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because
Yep.
after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage, meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every one bird.
Yep.
So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the did we lose this? I could have done a better job with a boomerang.
If the emus were native to the United States, you damn well know they've been dropping napalm on those wheat fields.
I have been assaulted by a cow. One of the cows is called Monty, and he's an adolescent, and I made the mistake of turning around for like 5 seconds, and in that 5 seconds, this 500-kilo cow runs up behind me while I'm sorting out his food and tries to mount me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I've known of the ideas of like dolphins getting like attempting to get it on with people, birds attempting to get it on with people, dogs. God, I didn't even think about the possibility of cows. How did you just not die in that situation?
Legs, I would have been squashed by a horny cow.
Yeah.
This jellyfish is basically a time bomb. Introducing the Irukandji, a species of jellyfish native to the northern waters of the land down under, and possibly my least favourite animal in the entire ocean, because it is just a massive, spiteful Well, massive is misleading, as this little guy is tiny. I mean, ridiculously small. Being not much bigger than your fingernail at the head and basically completely invisible to the naked eye. This is a fairly major problem, because behind that halo cloak frame, they are dragging 3-foot-long tentacles and shocking absolutely no one.
Say the
Bart.
It is one of the most venomous jellyfish in the ocean. I'm so tired of the stealth poison multi-classes on OCE servers, dude. This shit is broken. You see, those 3-foot tentacles are covered with tiny little barbs, and at the barest touch, they will literally propel themselves into your skin like a bullet and inject you with the Australia Special, a pina colada cocktail of various neurotoxins. And upon being injected, you will feel absolutely nothing. You'll keep swimming around, splashing about in the water, kissing the homies, until you are overcome with a sudden, severe feeling of impending dread. I mean the kind of dread that will have you hysterically screaming that you are about to die. I am gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna f***ing die! That's because the invisible cunt here does psychic damage, inflicting a condition known as Irukandji syndrome, which starts with a feeling of impending doom so strong there are records of people asking to be, avoiding a ban here, forcibly disconnected from God's Minecraft server. And that feeling of doom is warranted because about 30 minutes after being stung, that biological bomb goes off, with the venom initially causing extreme pain throughout your entire body. And after making you feel like a failed isekai protagonist, the venom then spikes your blood pressure and heart rate through the roof, which can cause heart attacks, blood clots, and has even been recorded to cause brain hemorrhages. And the
That's terrifying.
It doesn't have an anti-venom. This thing sneaks at you, waits 30 minutes, sends you a private DM telling you it got your ass, and there is not a f***ing thing you can do about it. Toxic little shit. This
that'd be terrifying. That would be terrifying.
Army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Introducing our protagonist, Jeremy, a carrier pigeon who is in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the oldie times, radio technology was, kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance. Which is how, in 1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in France, with 500 US soldiers stuck 3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Jeremy's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German soldiers. And to make matters worse, being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely hammered with friendly artillery. Now, stuck as far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out of the air like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up. Until only one remained.
So we get skeet shooting with the shotguns in World War I.
The battalion wrote a message and attached it to Jeremy, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear, some f***ing sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion watched with horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Jeremy's center of mass, destroying one eye, punching a hole through his chest.
Did he live?
Blowing off.
Do we know this because the pigeon lived?
And this giga chad of an animal tanked it.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire. Jeremy made it the whole way back to base, delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did he get the job done,
holy shit,
but he lived. He was granted one of the highest military honors the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today. There he is. Absolute legend.
That's amazing.
Crocodiles are just dinosaurs that forgot to go extinct.
That is so fucking true.
And I cannot
that is so true. Dinosaurs, like, way older than a lot of species of dinosaurs that you might know familiar, like, or are familiar with.
Yes,
way older.
Can and will eat you.
I don't care what you think. Alligator is like peak reptile performance according to evolution. They have survived so much. Best configuration.
You see, keeping on theme with the whole forgetting to go extinct thing, the Salties stat spread just feels like something that should have been patched out with the rest of Jurassic Park, starting with their ridiculous size. You see, Salties are the largest reptile on the planet, coming in at a total of 6 meters long with a maximum weight of 1,100 kilos.
And even those are smaller
Makes
than the ones
this
that we're talking about
lizard
from ancient history.
genuinely longer than my car. And the up part is that despite being longer than my ute, they are for some reason absolute masters of stealth. You see, crocs are ambush predators, which is a scientific way of saying they are dirty campers. You see, they've got 2 raised eyes that sit on the top of their heads, which means they can submerge their Ford Falcon-sized frame basically entirely under the water without sacrificing the ability to spot whatever they are looking to turn into a Happy Meal. And from your perspective as the Happy Meal, they are really difficult to see, which makes it very easy to walk just a little too close and, yeah, get bitten in half by that hydraulic press that they call a mouth.
That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
That's right, just like any good camper, these scaly arseholes are packing a one-shot in the form of one of the highest bite forces of any animal on the f***ing planet, having been recorded at putting out a maximum of 3,700
That jaw strength at that 3,700 psi is only towards closing their mouth. Fun fact, this is why alligator wrestling exists, because that incredible jaw strength only applies in one direction. They actually don't have a lot of strength for opening their mouth at all, to the point where you can just hold their mouth closed with just your human grip strength for a lot of people.
PSI of force through their jaws. To put that into context, your skull will crack at 1,100 PSI, so a croc would pop your head like a watermelon.
Absolutely.
And if you don't immediately get folded by the first bite, those jaws will latch onto you as the croc begins a death roll, spitting its ton of body weight like a washing machine until whatever part of you it has decided to eat snaps off and is added to its protein goals. But the best thing about the crocodile is their build is so f***ing good. They have genuinely been around with very little evolutionary change for 65 million years. Which means I grew up watching Steve Irwin wrestle dinosaurs for fun. Rest in peace, you absolute f***ing legend. Komodo dragons are horror villains. I mean, seriously.
They are.
Industrial-sized lizard is easily one of the biggest assholes in the animal kingdom when it comes to hunting methods.
Oh,
packing
absolutely.
a PhD in suffering and a double degree in biological warfare.
Yes, their mouths are full of such decaying meat that bacterias and toxins build up in their saliva that simply being bit by one of them will nearly immediately cause sepsis. And then these things will just follow you until the sepsis kills you. And then they'll swallow you when you're too sick to move. It's crazy terrifying. It's a long, slow, painful death being eaten by a Komodo dragon.
Purely because they cannot be expending effort to hunt.
Yep.
You see,
Humans
Godzilla
do the same
for
hunting
cousin here
style.
is the largest lizard in the world, weighing up to 166 kilos and being a full 3.13 meters in length, which means, for the short kings in my audience, if you're brave enough, bang a motor transport right there. Now, being the reptile equivalent of a Cadillac Escalade means that the Komodo dragon needs to consume a lot of calories to keep that bulk going. However, rather than using that bulk to proactively chase down and body slam its prey, they can take down prey 3 times their size, because as if being a reptilian tank was not enough, they are also venomous. And this isn't just your run-of-the-mill snake venom that, you know, gives you a nice quick 15-minute death. No. A Komodo hunt starts with it running up to its prey and giving it a nice big chomp on the leg, injecting it with hemorrhagic venom. After biting, the Komodo dragon off and just sits there watching. The confused and bewildered animal runs off into the forest, leaking blood, allowing that Komodo dragon to track it like a DoorDash order. A
Yeah.
week goes by, and that bite wound isn't closing because hemorrhagic venom prevents blood clots.
Yeah.
So, the animal is still slowly bleeding out, and the Komodo is still watching. More time passes. That bite wound gets infected because Komodos are carrion feeders, meaning that the inside of their mouth is full of enough rotting flesh and bacteria to give Asmongold a run for his money. The infection begins to drain the animal's strength, and the Komodo is still watching.
Yeah.
Another week passes. The infection has spread, and the flesh has begun to rot. And you best believe that ass lizard is still there watching like he's waiting for his meal to heat up in the microwave.
Yeah.
Once the bleeding, disease-ridden animal becomes too exhausted to move on its own and collapses, the Komodo strolls over and eats it alive.
Terrifying.
Shredding it into chunks
Utterly
if it's larger,
terrifying.
or, if it's small enough, swallowing it whole as it screams on the way down. Even for me, man, that's fucked.
It's so goddamn fucked.